All right, so the All Blacks Rugby Championship squad has been named, and rather than we've got 36 players to think about, and not a whole lot of changes from the first squad that Scott Robertson named for the first three tests of the season against England and Fiji. Not surprising, of course, but there are a couple of things to talk about here. So just wanted to quickly talk about those right here. So the first thing to talk about, which is not really a surprise at all, is the return of former All Blacks captain Sam Kane. I say former, of course, now because Scott Barrett is now the captain of the All Blacks. I guess it was kind of a little bit. Sam Kane, of course, had spent the last couple of months playing in Japan, and I guess while he had been slated to return to the All Blacks, I guess for what will be his last the last test of his professional rugby career. It was always I guess it was kind of felt that the England Fiji games would be a bit too soon. Sam Kane is one of those players who probably doesn't really need to be playing like club rugby or not necessarily club rugby or super rugby just to find himself get himself back into the rhythm of things. And he's a player who's always he really just needs a couple of bit of time in the All Blacks environment and to get back up and running a bit like your Richie McCaws and Dan Carter's. And and so Sam Kane is in the side. Look, I mean, people are gonna be a bit people are gonna there will be critics, the Sam and of which Sam Kane certainly has had from the past, and of course they're easily going to refer back to that red card that he got at the Rugby World Cup final, which was his last game. But look, I mean, Sam Kane is I think Sam Kane is one of our most decorated All Blacks, and I think he certainly doesn't deserve to have his last test be that Rugby World Cup final, where he became the first ever player to be red carded in the Rugby World Cup final. And look, I think he certainly deserves to be in there for merit. I think there is still a lot of inexperience, particularly in that loose forwards. You've got Wallace Atiti as well in there, so I think certainly having him in there to complement RD Savio and. You've got and also you've got the likes of Todd Blackadder and Luke Jacobson, Dalton Papali'i. Certainly having Sam Kane in there, I think, will definitely still be a boost. And certainly, while in this last year of Sam Kane's career, that it's certainly best to use that knowledge there. And I think I think Sam Kane certainly deserves to be in that merit. And fingers crossed he gets that He's certainly got a few milestones, the 100 testing, so he certainly deserves to be in there, in my opinion. It's not just a token gesture by Scott Robertson. So we move into the first position of the backs. Of course, the biggest omission there is Finlay Christie, and this appears certainly to be a decision made on sort of form and ability. In place of Christie, you've got Noah Holton, who did really well in the All Blacks game against Fiji in San Diego. TJ Perenara returns from he's expected to be have fully recovered from that injury he sustained earlier on against England, and so he and Cortez Ratimer are expected to be fighting for that starting berth. Ratimer did a really, really superb job. I guess now, some fans, some might say and myself, I guess I kind of feel like, Christie's form isn't that bad. I think this might seem a bit harsh to just drop him like that. But I guess when you have like Ratimer in there, you've got a halfback with the experience of Perenara, and then you've got Holton, who's done such a great job. I guess, I mean, it is, I guess it is a bit harsh on Christie, but I think I can, you can sort of see what was coming. And I mean, yeah, and so look, we shall. I guess Christie just has to fight for his place back in the All Blacks, and yeah, he'll have to it's gone down his time with the Marcos, which he hasn't done in a while, to show that he could still be one of the top three All Blacks halfbacks for Scott Robertson. And the final big piece of news is the naming of Ruben Love in the All Blacks. About time, really. He didn't quite wasn't. It's a bit of an unusual one, by the way. I guess. Look, if you'd expected, I think if Ruben Love was to be in the All Blacks, I think people are sort of expecting it. Debutant, of course, to do it against England and Fiji rather than in this Rugby Championship. But oh well. I mean, I guess he's clearly done a lot of good things in between to show that he deserves a chance. There might be something injuries or something that we might not be aware of, and that's sort of the same with Finlay Christie as well, I should add. But yeah, certainly well deserved for Ruben Love. I guess there was a couple of question marks about that fullback spot there. Of course, Will Jordan is still some time away from recovery, and so again, Perifeta's game was okay. So I guess bringing Ruben Love, he's able to play. He's that utility player, can play. You would expect him to start fullback, but he can also cover first five or anywhere in midfield if need be. So yeah, great opportunity, Ruben Love, who had a really fantastic season for the Hurricanes. But certainly it'd be interesting. It is quite unusual to see like a someone like effectively a bolter for the Rugby Championship squad. Obviously Rugby Championship. You got Argentina, Australia, South Africa, particularly this season you've got two tests in South Africa. It's going to be a tough. It's kind of a big ask to get a debutant like Ruben Love in. So yeah, we shall see what happens there. But great stuff. Yeah, it is certainly a very, very popular move. And I think it is, this is his chance to show, could he, I guess the other thing I think was that should be noted, I guess, was the vulnerability of the All Blacks out on the wings when there were these cross kicks. Certainly, I think that's possibly another reason why they've possibly looked to fast track Ruben Love into the All Blacks. Maybe they were sort of looking at later on the end of year two about seeing that there was such a massive deficiency there with the cross kicks, wingers cutting in. Perhaps they felt it was time they needed to bring Ruben Love in, like a sort of winger fullback, someone who's really good under the high ball, just to sort of possibly cover that area off. So we shall see. But yeah, so that's the All Blacks Rugby Championship squad. It's I know it's come a little bit out of the blue because, of course, the All Blacks don't play till August the 10th when they play Argentina and Wellington. It's sort of in the middle of the Olympics and all that, so people's minds are there. But I'd like to hear your thoughts. What do you thought of your new squad? And yeah, if you do, and of course, if you like this video, feel free to like and don't forget to subscribe.